Well, welcome back to the Will Is Podcast. How you guys doing this evening? I'm doing swell. I'm doing great myself. Oh, yeah, we got a lot to talk about, tonight's show about how, as you can see the title, America is a mental health disaster show. Oh, yeah. There will be a lot of freelance tonight because I don't want any whip moments. I do have a mindset to do this show due to what I see every day. Like, we're going to start off with saying America has a problem with addressing the truth with itself, first and foremost. But we all know that shit. I mean, when you think about the snowflake activity that's going on right now, it is just insane. I mean, I have witnessed an immense amount of people that have a lot of empathy for people that only look like them. It's wild. You see, like when I think about it, like when I think about empathy, I be thinking about like as a melanated person, when I think of empathy, I think of awe. But we know the more we educate ourselves about the ideology of certain people, they will muster up any way possible not to have empathy for you. Yeah. See, it's bigger than somebody getting killed. It's about that shared mindset for, only empathy for what looks like me. That shit is crazy. Like, that means people can say the most grotesque shit on the fucking planet, and their acts reflect that. But at the end of the day, the manipulation that comes behind specific acts. So it keep people in a state of confusion because when you're talking and you're not utilizing real facts, you're just talking, or you have specific garnered talking points, and then like I hear people say right after everything they fucking say. Now, and it's that's the word, right? It's the word, right. That's the word, right? Okay. Anyway, check me out. It's a convincing notion. And a lot of times when you're saying that convincing notion, everybody don't always agree. So it's a strong pivoting conventional notion that tells the brain that what I'm saying is that. But if I say that word after every time I say something, I just want you to understand I'm telling you the truth. I don't really want to convince you. I want you to know. So, am I convincing you? Yeah, of course. Yeah, but I'd rather do it through facts and actual statistics that aren't skewed by alleviating other people from their just due, like manipulating crime to statistics and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sick. Like to literally, let me tell you what Americans are now trying to practice. And I'm talking about all Americans. I'm talking about this is how we're degrading ourselves as a complete toilet bowl. Mostly white Americans specifically because they don't like being accountable for shit. Anything. And they will statistic and pivot themselves out of any situation to hold any kind of accountability for their ancestors. But yet and still you want to keep the wealth. You want to keep all of the accolades. You want to act like you have done something that you have not done, which is why you don't like truth. It's hard and heavy for you because then you don't get to participate in fairy tale lands like, oh, we invented these things and we created these things, and those things are just not true, boo-boo. It can't be true. Look how immature your nature is. Look at how you don't mind creation. You just want to make it in your image. You don't mind a great mind as long as you can benefit from it in your image, and you because you equate everything with survival. See, here in the West, the Happy Lands, we equate things with evolving, evolution, with enclosing nature with God, the universe, your ancestors, how you got here. It's an obsession that we have as we're now knowing who we are. That's our that's why we kept the oral traditions. That's why we have the ability to practice things in a repertory nature to bring greatness out of it. If you do things over and over again, and you can really critique and craft your way into greatness and through perfection, and that beauty is what you see. See, you understood how to value yourself because you know how I value myself. So that gave you the capability to practice and practice being civilized. And also, that gave you the ability and time to degrade, decline everything that doesn't look like you because you know how it felt. When I was in my seat and you was in yours. And that's sad. It's fucked up. It's sad. It's cruel. It's cruel how you see a rapper riding down the street in a Rolls Royce, and you see a white man driving a minivan next to him, and he throws up like, I can't even believe, I'm watching this rich black person. Dude, you wouldn't know what rich was if you didn't know what I was. Rich in color, rich in nature, rich in mind, rich in walking around, being myself, rich. Things that are physical, I can create for myself. It's just material. I don't have to wear Louis Vuitton to make myself feel like I'm capable, able, or accurate, or belonging. No, I don't have to do any of those things. I can create my own. That's what a lot of shit that, things that make people come together are what you would call craftsmanship. Craftsmanship helps people come together, including your marriages. Do you understand that marriage is the actual pinnacle of what an institution actually is? Marriage. And also, when they tell you shit like, shout out to my brother, Dr. Q, they tell you shit like, oh, there's no manual on raising children. It's a goddamn lie. You threw it away. You threw it away. See, we've been on a search. The reason why we knew all of this shit was taken, thrown away, buried, renamed, reclaimed, rewritten into your image is because we can identify, but it just ain't quite right. You understand? So why do you think we connect with the Bible so much? Because we wrote it. We canonized it. King James canonized it. He knew where to get the shit from. He was not a white man. He was a black man, but he was an evil bastard. Yeah. Yeah. He loved the pale complexion so much his lover was George of Buckingham Palace, because he had a white complexion. And that's what he liked. See? When you got people that have been kicked out of their natural homelands or have been brought up in different homelands and these type of things, they had connections. There's always been worldwide connections across all boundaries. The globe. It wasn't carved up the way the European has carved it up. That didn't happen before you. It was a whole nother system, and you got to turn it upside down too. You got to add that element. South, north, south. The mindset that happened on the Mississippi as well as in Africa. On the Nile, rivers that flow from the south to the north. That's where civilization began. See, two things can be true at once. How do you understand where the equator belt, you have people that look like this around the equator belt. Globally. Close to the equator, dark ass skin. Further you get away, paler you get. North, south. Not always east and west. Look at Lower Asia. Don't they look African? Yeah. That's because they didn't migrate out of Africa. No, they just been there. Just like the African been in Africa, those people been there. Just like the American been in America, yeah, we still here. The reason why that's hard to accept for other nationalities that try to claim that they're American is because it hurts you so much. Yeah, you get to see that you was not first, and you think you really believe that this is the shitty part about the whole ordeal. You really believe that you really played a part in being you have no you did not. You played a part in the turmoil. Yeah, that's your part that you played. Not the inception, not the ingenuity that came from up the soil. That's not you. If you even study the Aztecs and the Mayans, which were also me, they say they didn't do it. How you did it? That's how you know you're a goddamn liar. And you really need to stop your fabrications because if you understand what times are right now, shit's coming to a close, pimp. We renewing a whole another cycle. And your ass gonna get wiped out with your bullshit ass lies. And that's why they try to cover up so much shit now. They try to cover shit up because you gotta understand one principle. Lies will be lies. And the deeper you dig, the darker this motherfucker get. So all the lies that anybody can tell you about melanated people globally, that's who I champion, the indigenous. I don't champion just the out of Africa. No, that's a fabricated lie. You know why they tell you that's a lie? You know how you know that's a lie? Because the European is the one that came up out of Africa. He just had to tie everybody in with his ass. He's not indigenous, but to Africa, which got his complexion in Europe. In Africa, too. You got your complexion off. Look at the Arabs. Look at the Caucasoid Mountains. How close is that to Africa? That close. And let's not talk about the Carthaginians that conquered all of those areas up in Georgia. See, the thing is, I'm going to tell you how confused people are. They really think you get names that's in the West from the East. That shit backwards, too. Let me read something to y'all real quick. Got to go for my phone. Okay. Let me show you the psychosis of America. All right. In my text message, my brother Dr. Akil sent me a great book. All right. Let me get to the text. Yeah, it is. It's the text right here. All right. Check this out, y'all. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Yeah, it's the book is coming up, y'all. Oh, The Invention of the Americas. Yeah, here we go. Here we go, people. Let's go. Yeah, let's get this. I want this book physically, but I think I got it in the mail coming. But The Invention of the Americas by Enrique uh, Dussel. Written this book in 95. The Eclipse on the Others and the Myth of Modernity. That's the thing, the invention of modernity. This is what you call the new world. This is when they started. See, the only way you can have that is they had to destroy pyramids and beat and destroy and make what was powerful undesirable. Understand who you call the undesirables now. See, chapter 1 deals with Eurocentrism. Chapter 2 deals with from the invention of the discovery of the New World, which we noticed just not true. Chapter 3, from the conquest to the colonization of the life world. Boom. And then check this out. The spiritual conquest toward the encounter between two worlds. That's when they brought your ass Jesus. Okay, then you got chapter 5, critiquing the myth of modernity. Yeah, that's what we have experienced. Chapter 6, the Merry Indian in the non-Eurocentric vision of world history. That's chapter 6. Let's go to page 73. Let's go to page 73. Begin there. '71, '72, '73. Chapter 6. A Merry Indian, non-Eurocentric vision of world history. He had already made the necessary fundamentals of the world to open itself in flower. He had already made the unique love of wisdom contained in his being from heaven to the open self in flower. The virtue of knowledge, he opens himself in flower. He produced a song that he opened in flower, a sacred song in solitude. Before the earth existed, in the middle of the ancient night, where nothing was known, he produced a sacred song that would open in flower for himself in solitude. A review rapata of the Granadas. Yeah, the Granadas. So, it is now time to change. Check this out now. Listen to me. It is now time to change skin to see through new eyes. It is now time to put off the skin of the eyes of the I conquer, which culminates in the ego, cogito, or will to power. One's new hands is now those that clutch iron arms, and one's new eyes are not those looking into the carvels of the European intruders who cry land with Columbus. The new skin is soft, bronze skins of Caribbeans and the Ardennes people of the Amazonians. The new eyes are the Indians who were their bare feet planted on soft, warm island land in the south, and wonderment knew gods floated on the sea as they approached. The new skin suffered punishment in the plantation and land disruptions, routed with the strangers, plagues, hungers, and shed of the collars of slaves were scorched. The slaves, once peaceful peasants in the African savannah, were sold like animals in Carthagena of the islands. Bahia, the other ego of the egos, whose history requires reconstruction of modernity, others face. The history begins in the Pacific Ocean. It is time to change skins like a serpent, not to preserve the treacherous serpent tempting Adam in Mesopotamia, but the plunged serpent, the divine quality. This right here. Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl, who changes skins in order to grow. It is time to put the methodology of the skin Indian, the African slave, the humiliated mestizo, the impoverished peasant, the exploited worker, and the marginalized person packed among the wretched million inhabitants contemporary Latin American cities. It is time to take the eyes of the oppressed, those from the Ladis Abajau, the Azula, well-known novel, expressed it. It is time to turn from the ego cogito to the cognitatium, who also thought even if Hurl and Descartes ignored him of her being a cognitatum and other was a distinct subjectivity and not merely different in a postmodern sense. From the west to the east, Amerindian in world history, the historical and archaeological acceptance, reconstruction, and its need to correct the Eurocentric deviation of the excluded Latin American and the world history such as Reconstruction and failed, accounted in the histories of the civilizations that produced. Oh, let me turn my volume up, damn it. Okay, here we go, we up. Such as Reconstruction and full accounts of historical civilization that produced accidental European will unmask Hegel's vision of history not merely as Eurocentric ideology investigation, but also an inversion of the facts. Indigenous American ethnic groups do not first appear in world history merely to provide a context of the discovery of the American. Contrary to the usual college and university uh, historical program, the first mentioned Indians in 1492. Such programs noted that in addition to the islands, palm trees, and the exotic animals, Indians to lurk the beaches, Columbus discovered in order to, however, locate the Indian real place in history. And the essentials, and it is essential to return to the Neolithic Revolution, in which witnessed the birth of agriculture and cities. The revolution, and contrary to Hegel's proposal, begins primarily in the West. First, Mesopotamia, and later in Egypt. And the surge forward in the East usually few contrast between civilizations. The revolution spread eastward in the Indus Valley in China, Yellow River Valley to the Pacific Ocean region, and finally Mesoamerica, home of the Mayan, Aztec civilization, and the southern Andes, where the Incas reside. In certain proportions and places of monuments, and at least 6 great urban civilizations arose in the intersection of these two contrasting zones. And figures, although presented in the world history, might appear naive and familiar, and including in the origin Latin, American, Bantu, African, and Asian. These other cultures do not serve merely as an ancient age uh, Aztecian European culture, but stand in the pillars of world history in their own right, according to Alfred Weber's terminology. Moreover, the Mesoamerican and the Southern Andes region experienced their own enlightenment, which out and fall under Jasper's notion in the Axis times. In the Mesopotamian region, Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, and High Neolithic cultures in developing the irrigation and establishing the cities of Urida, Urch, and Larsa. For the 4th millennium before the Common Era, around 4000 BC, in the vast Sinarad land bordering the eastern Mediterranean, each reaching towards India and centered Mesopotamia, experienced the growth of several communities. The Tel El Obian culture extended all over ancient Western Asia and the Mediterranean and the plateaus of Iran, formed in both. In Ranch Samaria was born a king, Muslim of Kurt, of Kishi, left traces of glorious campaign, uh, motivated in the struggle between language and Umma, centuries, and war. King Inatum solidified the power in 27 BCE, which set the motion and succession of kingdoms and smaller empires. So you understand these are kingdoms that you know nothing about because they don't discuss them because you understand they're hiding something. They keep shit like that away from us. They hide things in plain fucking sight and then they sell it back to us as if we're not familiar. And then all you have done is studied me and sold me back to me. So, do you understand why it's important for indigenous people from indigenous lands and indigenous cultures to understand where we come from, why we are from the regions that we are from, so that when you have haters that come from other places, they have no legs to stand on and they should probably behave and do the same. It's quite an awful thing for you to claim something that you are not. I agree with you. But for you to ever say, I'm not who I am, that's how you're fucking terrible. That's when it becomes to the point to where you are divisive, deceitful, destructive within your nature. And the reason why you're so specific and destructive in your nature is because that's what you know. Conquering. And you're not the only ones. Africans have that problem too. Even the modern day Africans, they have that same specific problem. The notion of thinking colonization is there. I can conquer. I can be better. I can what they call it, compete. You can't compete when you don't even know for real. So that means Robin Walker was absolutely correct. He said, we will mop the floor with your asses because you think you know when you know nothing. The problem with people that love individuals like Charlie Kirk is they love fairy tales and they love feel-good stories that make them that make them feel like you should, yeah. No, those are not realities. When you're talking against other people, you're harming and hurting those people. I hope you understand that. If you're perpetuating yourself by denying everything about history as if the shit that really happened don't exist, and you get to perpetually think yourself out of it as if you have no connection to it, you know how psychotic that is. Look at the title of the show. America is a mental health disaster show. It's a whole lot of people that practice a shit ton of cognitive dissonance, and they love statistics, but they hate real history. And you hate the perspective of others that tell your ass the truth. You can't dispel us. We're going to keep telling the truth. You just have to understand that the truth is going to keep haunting your ass until you accept the fact that your ass is wrong. You can't dispel the truth out your mind if you don't want to go fucking crazy. See, a lot of y'all don't mind being a little crazy, but I'm telling you this. When you practice cognitive dissonance, you're not basing nothing in truth. You're basing it in a falsehood. And just because you feel like your feet are planted in your cognitive dissonance does not mean they're planted solid. That's just how you feel. So snowflakes and ignoramuses that love listening to my show talking shit. I know it's picking up and I like it. The only thing about it is I'm going to keep telling the truth. I didn't ask for your opinion and you don't have to keep watching. That's the ticket, see? The thing is, I love educating people that want to know, not just people that look like me, but I love the global perspective. I love a global audience. You know why? Because I feel like what I have to say is important. And the reason why it's important because it's facts that a lot of people don't get a chance to tell or say or don't know how to say. But I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You keep doing what you're doing. But that's the show tonight, people. I'm not going to hold you too long. I got to go to work in the morning. So I'm going to tell you like this, like I always do. You know it's the truth. Because this is my favorite part of the show. Come on, say it with me. You know it. The will is yours. Be cool, my people. I'll be back at y'all ass tomorrow. And you know I'm coming back with Dr. A.E. for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's a little late tonight, but tomorrow we're going to put on. We might do a couple shows this week, depending on what he got going on. But man, this, but we're going to get back to it. I'll holler at y'all, man. Love you guys. And Don't forget to check out the wilderness.podcast.com. Get you some merch. It's all ready. Go purchase and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Get you something nice. It's not that expensive. It's good. It's very, very priced. But go check it out. Go to wilderness.podcast.com. And also, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, please. Also, go back and check out the playlist. The playlist is dope, and I put some playlists together. I'm gonna put another playlist together. I put the August playlist together, but we moving through September so damn fast, so I may put a mid playlist together for everybody. So you can check up on that shit too. But check it out, man. Y'all know this show tonight, and we love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.